What if I told you the way we eat today is far from how God intended us to live? Fast food, processed meals, artificial ingredients. But God already showed us a better way, a simpler, healthier, and more peaceful way to eat. Today, we're talking about God's way of living and the food we should eat in today's world. Welcome back to my channel. If you're searching for a healthier, more peaceful, and spiritually aligned life, you're in the right place. Because today we're going back to the beginning to understand what God intended us to eat. In the beginning, God provided natural food directly from the earth: fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, grains. These foods were clean, simple, and full of life. There were no chemicals, no factories, no artificial flavors. God's design was simple: food that grows from the earth to nourish the body and the soul. Today, living God's way means returning to fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, natural foods, less processed, more natural. God also allowed certain meats as food, but even here, God's way focuses on clean, natural, and moderate eating. Simple natural sources of meat can include fish, chicken, lamb, beef in moderation, eggs. The key is choosing natural, clean, and minimally processed meat. Not fast food, not heavily processed meats, and not overeating. God's way encourages balance, not excess. God calls our bodies temples. That means what we eat matters. When we fill our bodies with unhealthy foods, we feel tired, stressed, and disconnected. But when we eat naturally, we feel stronger, calmer, and more focused. God's way of eating is about balance, moderation, nourishment, respect for your body, not perfection, but intention. God's way is simple, not complicated. Simple meals like bread and olive oil, fruits and nuts, vegetable soups, rice and beans, fish with vegetables, eggs and whole grain bread, fresh salads. These foods nourish the body and bring peace to the mind. In today's world, we often overcomplicate food, but God's way reminds us, simple is powerful. Another important part of God's way is gratitude. Before eating, take a moment, give thanks, be present, appreciate the food before you. This small habit changes everything. Eating becomes not just physical, but spiritual. God's way of living today means eating natural foods, choosing clean meat in moderation, avoiding too much processed food, being grateful, eating in moderation, living simply. When we return to God's way, we don't just improve our health, we find peace. If you believe in living God's way, comment below. Simple, natural,